Well, hello and welcome to Physics Games. In today's video, we're going to be looking at all those lovely keys and all the little things that we type into the console. I'll show you what I use regularly, especially when I'm creating videos, and maybe they'll be useful for you. It was a very busy day yesterday for 7 Days to Die with lots of updates. We're now up to experimental B327, and there's a few new POIs and also a few new sounds. And of course, this week I've created a few more modlets, so I'll share those with you. And finally, at the end of this video, I have a little problem. Somebody commented about a little issue in game. I've never come across it before. Can you help us out? Last time I made a video on this was in 2022 for Alpha 20. So it's certainly time to make a new video because nobody wants to watch the old one because I used to scream so much. The channel's grown too with all these beautiful subscribers, so many of you may not have seen that video and this information might be helpful. But hey you, I'm looking at you. You're watching and you haven't subscribed. Click the button. But this lovely lot over here, hey guys, come on, let's get stuck in. So I love this game because there is so much to play with that you can get every option to your heart's content, almost, and you can edit the files as you know I like to do. We're here in the physics playground and I'm going to press F1 because this is how we're going to get stuck into things, and I'm going to type clear because that's going to make it nice and beautiful for everyone. Typing CM brings up creative mode, escape to get rid of that console, and then freak out slightly because we're on B328. So obviously, whilst I was sleeping, there was yet another little hotfix. So once you've done that, you can press the letter U and up comes the beautiful creative menu, and you can search for anything you wish and just drag it straight into your inventory. Pressing escape gets out of that menu, and now we're going to go back into debug mode and we can type CM. That will remove that menu if we wish so. Typing DM then brings up debug menu on. Again, type it another time and enter in order to get rid of it. But now we're in debug menu, there's a lot of options available to us. So I pressed escape to get rid of it, and now I can press Q and I'm in God mode. Space to go up, C to go down, WSAD to move, and shift to go a little bit faster. Now, as we saw in the intro of the video, one of the things I get asked so much is how do you fly so quickly across your lovely physics playground? Well, that is because I am holding W shift in God mode and I'm tapping the Q button, and it goes towards the cursor unless you're pointing at the ground, and then it will normally just go and land you on the ground just like that. Be careful, of course, because if you're in God mode and you're a little bit high and you let go, then you might break the old legs. But you can always press Q and then that will clear that straight away. Press Q, of course, to get out of God mode, F1 again, DM, and everything's back to normal. So let's set ourselves up by this very large building and go through the function keys. Now with debug menu off, we press F1 and we get that. So look at there, we have nothing at all running here. This is like being normal in game. Pressing F4 goes between windowed mode and full screen, which can be very useful. If we press F7, it removes the HUD, which is a nice little deal. If you press it again now, of course, it gets rid of the crosshairs in the middle, and then we just cycle through all of those as we continue to press the button. F9 is screenshot, and that's going to be saved in your app data roaming 7 Days to Die screenshots folder. And then there is another way of making a screenshot with F11, but it brings up this deal here, and you can see it tells me all about the focus block, which is a very useful thing if you want to find something out. So for example, you're like, oh, what's this block called? I'll press F11. And if you do, it tells you exactly what it is. It's pipe_valve prefab. But what this is really good for is, especially if you're at the end of a game or if you're streaming or making a video, you press F11 and then you hit save perks. What's this going to do when I press OK? It's going to save a screenshot, it's going to save all my data location, all the position and everything, and it's also going to save a CSV file with every perk that my character currently has. So if you have a major crash, you can get it back. And also you can add a note as well if you wish. Just hit OK, job is done. Oh look, there's even more very large building over here. Let's see what happens when we press F1, go into debug menu, have that on now. Is there any difference with the function keys? Well, yes, it's all about the F8 button. If we press F8, we get our frames per second, but this time if we press it again, it also tells us the heat information. Now, added to version 1, we now see after that a graph appear at the top. Now, you know, as a physicist in real life, I am not happy with there being no labels there, but it seems to be something to do with kind of latency or something like that. So if we move about and do stuff, I will try and mess around. The bar is increasing as I'm making it more difficult for the game. Then if we press F8 again, editor physics, got to go onto the server because this is all about network data. Well, after all those updates, I've had to restart the old server here, so it's brand new running. Let's get into DM mode and then press F8 again. And as we go through into here, whoa, we're getting all our data information. That's a lot of net packages. Not quite sure how to interpret that. I'm sure some clever clogs out there can do that. But if you'd like to join me on the server, well, you can come and play with me here and the rest of the crew. All you got to do is just join the YouTube channel, head over to Discord, tell me you've joined, but you better be over 18 because it is a mature server. We mustn't forget F3, just like in Minecraft, the debug menu, and I would like to click on it, but there's stuff in the way. I need to press tab, and when I do, I can move my mouse as normal, and I can go over here and start clicking on these buttons, hovering over each of these little short, little 2-letter things or 3-letter things we get to find out what it is. This is texture. I click on it, and another little window appears, so you can have a look at all the important information to your heart's content. We mustn't forget that in debug mode, F5 puts us into third person mode. By then pressing the letter P, we go into camera lock mode, so we can check ourselves out and make sure we're looking good when we go and visit Jen. And if you really want to have a look around your body, then the left square bracket key puts you into free camera mode. And you can check, yep, hang on, let me have a sniff. Yep, smells good. Just remember to reverse the order of those keys, left square bracket, P and F5, and then everything goes fine and dandy. Hey Jen, how's it going?
My favorite customer. How are you?
F6 is another option that you now get in debug menu, and you can now take a good old zombie and just simply press it and they appear. Well, I don't want them facing that way, so do remember to press look at you, and then of course they will be then looking directly at you, and then they'll come and try and get you. Okay, so if you press F6 but hold shift, then you get all the funky things that would happen, say, in a Twitch stream if someone activates things. So if I was to go and get someone like, I don't know, let's get Jen again. So shift F6 and I can just give Jen a nice big head. I could also get her to have a nice dance off. And if I press escape, I could enjoy the show. So I'm stalking a zombie and she doesn't seem to want to attack me. She doesn't know where I am. Well, look, I've got no hands. That's because I have made myself invisible. And on the numerical keypad, well, that is the / button. If I quickly press it, she will come to me, and I press it again, and all I get is just jiggle physics and no slap round the face. If I press the star key, then you can see it says AI off, and now all her artificial intelligence that is programmed deep inside this game is suddenly not there. So basically, if I do make myself visible, she will not attack. I can pause her if I want to have a really good look at all of her assets by holding down Control and then pressing star. Therefore, I can get around and have a good look at all the models of my favourite zombies. Obviously, just do the opposite to what you did just to get rid of things. So there we go, Control star, then star, and she's back online. Oh, I better make myself invisible again. Well, now she doesn't know where I am. I'm letting her walk about, but what if I press the minus key and I rapidly press that until she gets slower and slower and slower? And as you can see from the detail, everything is much more intricate and wobbly. If I press plus, then she's just going to get faster and faster, and as she walks around it all looks a bit silly, including me and my Benny Hill moments. If I want to get rid of that, as in I don't quite know what was the correct speed, press escape, then press escape again, and everything is back to normal. If I want to know even more about these zombies, then I can press the 0 key, and that tells me her name, her health, and her interest, which is D. Let's say you are playing, and then, oh my god, I've got a phone call! I've got a phone call! Well, what can I do? I can pause the entire game by pressing the enter key on the numerical keypad, and I press it again to make it all come back to life. Maybe I've just had enough of these damn zombies. Well, by holding down Control and then the period button or the full stop, well, they just simply kill themselves. In fact, that is the kill all function. It's a little bit more than the kill all function, because if you have a vehicle anywhere near you, that will explode too. You've been warned. By holding down Control and pressing the period button again, that kills all for a second time and clears all the zombies out and any drops they made. There is another function. You can press 1 on the numerical keypad, and now I'm moving my mouse, but look, it is locked. It's a mouse lock function. Whoopee-doo-dah. If I press 1, then I get rid of that option. But of course, I'm very old school here on Physics Game. If I want a mouse lock function, I just don't touch my mouse. As we use Shift Plus on the numerical keypad, we get some kind of chunk bordering deals, and then we do it again to get the single block deals, and then we can get rid of them. Z is the other box that we get, which we can then make different sizes. It's the selection box, which you get rid of with backspace. But have you seen what they've added in version 1? It's absolutely superb. I've been loving this in the prefab builder. It tells you on all sides the size of the box. Excellent addition. Well done, fun pimps. In debug mode, but not in God mode, make sure you don't have that on. You can press the period button, the full stop button on that keypad, and you end up ragdolling. It looks quite good. You can make it go a little bit funny if you want, but if you keep hitting it, but you get to see the new standing up animation that they've added in version 1. Okay, I have nagged the past few videos, and I'm just going to keep doing it. It's my job, remember, because you guys have made all the difference. You have commented, you have replied to comments, you've done all the right things and click the subscribe, and it has made my channel just jump that bit more forward in the past month. So thank you to everyone. Of course, check me out on Twitch as well. Also, we've got the merch, and of course that is a beautiful t-shirt there. Get some of that on your body. And why should you support me? Well, of course, because if you don't, then my NASA computer can't do the AI it needs. What we're going to look at now is pressing F1. We're going to clear it as we did before. Excuse me, lady, could you keep it down? We're going to find out what functions we can type into the console to get some extra deals here. If you type in help, well, all those deals appear, and there are a lot of them here. All of these things. I'm not going to go through them all today. If you would like me to, then I could make a video, but I need enough requests if there's the demand for it. But let me show you the ones that I use on a regular basis. So, for example, it says trees there. What happens when we type trees? Well, it turns off all the trees and you turn them back on by typing trees again. If you wanted to know that, you can type help and then trees, and you will end up seeing what goes on. You can type in POIs and it deletes all the POIs, not the ones that you've already loaded, but the ones in the distance. And again, you can type that to bring them back in. But the one thing people don't realize you can do is maybe you need some help about the help, and if you do, then it gives you a whole bunch of other options, and you can use help and then output detailed, and you get this humongous list with everything in there, and it is absolutely huge with every bit of description there. Now, you don't have to bother with this. Just head over to the Discord. I've downloaded it and it is on there for you. Just at me and I'll point you in the right direction. So probably best to go in alphabetical order now. The one that I use a lot is admin. Let's say we have somebody that appears on my machine because I've been ask them to join my game and they need admin access. What I'll do is I'll type in LP, which means list players, and I'll get their ID number. That's the one I need, and you type in admin add, then their ID number, and then the number 0, and if you hit enter, you'll give them admin access on that game. Oh no, I gave my friend admin access, and then they got an admin gun, and they ruined something. Well, if you press F1 and you basically type chunk reset or CR, then it's going to reset the chunk. The best thing to do is to do CR space F, and it does a full reset, including the interior, if you could see that on the video, and it makes everything fine and dandy again. Next alphabetically that I have used before is GFX. If you type in GFX space PP space SSR for screen space reflections, and then you type 0, then it gets rid of those little kind of shader deals, and it can make a difference. It doesn't really make a difference for me, so I'm going to put that back to 1. You can also type in GFX and then PP and then enable and then 0, and if you have a look at the background, all that kind of foggy deal has disappeared. Basically, it's a way of getting rid of all fog, even if it appears in game, and it does help me a little bit, but we do like it, so we'll put it back on with a 1. Just playing with my bell here at Gens. If I press F1 and write give quest, then I can give myself a quest from this humongous list of lovely things there. I can also give self XP and then put some kind of number in here, which can be quite large, and it's going to then level me up. And this is useful, of course, when I'm trying to make a video and I want loads of zombies to attack me. You can save the world as it is by pressing F1 and typing in save world. Not really something you'd ever do in game, but you would certainly do it whilst using the world editor. Of course, pressing the letter T brings up the chat menu, so you can text people without speaking to them. But if you press F1 and type say above, then you will see all the text above and you'll be able to send something from the server. Next, of course, is changing the time, and you can set time or ST, and if you put the right deals here, ST space, then the day, so let's go to day 7, and then let's go to 2100 hours, and let's go half an hour before the horde, and immediately it will change to that time, and you can freak out all your friends if they're playing with you and they weren't expecting it. Now in the console, that's where you do all the teleporting of players around your map if needed. I'll press F1 and confusingly TP is not teleport player, that is teleport, and tele is not teleport, that's teleport player. But I'm not going to go through it right now because I've got a video, so click on the card above if you really want to know. Well, let's take a lovely screenshot of this view. What can we do? Well, if we press F7, as we've said before, you can clear everything, but we've still got the version information in the top corner. Now, I've seen mods for this. I don't know why people write mods for things that you can do very easily. Press F1, type in version UI, and then boom, it disappears, and will go invisible too, for the perfect screenshot. Or is it perfect? Because maybe we are annoyed by the weather. That would be the last thing that I mess around with. That's the weather. If I type weather fog 0, then it gets rid of it. Now, it doesn't look too great in the distance over there, but maybe that's the kind of feel that you're looking for. Or maybe you're looking for a different kind of feel. Maybe you're going to go weather, snowfall, and then 1, and we're going to switch that on and enjoy the sunny, sunny snow. But hang on, I've been messing around too much. This is silly. How do I get everything back to normal? Well, you just get the old D out. Weather D puts it all back to defaults. And that concludes all the little weird little things that I type, oops a daisy, into the debug menu. Right, video's getting long, so we're going to do quick fire round. One thing I forgot to tell you was shutdown, which basically shuts down the game. I don't want to do that. In the update, we've got Wilderness 20, which looks really quite cool, and Remnant Downtown Filler number 23. My favourite has to be Wilderness Filler 13, this little cabin that's been added. Remnant Downtown Filler 19 was not on the list, but certainly has now appeared. Last POI, Remnant Hospital 01 was not on the list, but has appeared, and it looks like a great place to make a base. Please tell me in the comments if you've had any problem with the bows since the update. I've had loads of problems, but it's not the arrows. Those arrows are meant to look like that. That is my Flashy Arrow mod. Somebody requested different coloured arrows, so I thought I'd go one better, and I would make some cyberpunk arrows. Why would I do that? Well, let me just show you. I'll fire a few of these off. I also, of course, did the old bows, so let's load one of those up and fire that at the tree, because somebody was having problems finding their arrows. Now there they are white, but now as you walk towards them they start flashing. I'm working on an updated version where only the feathers are flashing. I also made a mod that when you make any stone tool or weapon at tier 6 you don't need a legendary part. Somebody also asked for the zombie spiders to be a little bit quieter because that was giving them some earache. Yeah, what they really wanted were these little guys to purr like cats. Well, when I started making this video, I did have a comment and it needed some help, but it looks like they may have deleted it or I just cannot find it. But anyway, the deal was this. Somebody said that they were not getting any hordes and they think they pressed a button, and I have no idea what they've done. So I told them to reinstall. They did reinstall. They could get the horde back, but then they created a new game and it happened again. Some kind of really weird bug or something that I have never seen before. Has that ever happened to you? Please leave some message in the comment if you know anything about that. And of course, leave all the comments, all the replies, click all the nice buttons. And I need you to do me a favor. Could you head over to Twitch and could you get my count up over there? Because I'd love to see you there whilst we're playing 7 Days to Die. Also, all the other things I've mentioned, all I can say to you is you are a bunch of beautiful people. Thank you so much for your support. Let's get out of here. I'll see you later. Goodbye.